Good morning, students. Today we will do lesson 2 of your supplementary reader book, and the chapter is Children at Work from It So Happened. This story is an extract from the book Thrash on rag picker children and recycling. It's basically a project written by Geeta Wolf, Anushka Ravishankar, Arijit Sen. Let me give a small introduction about the authors. Geeta Wolf is a famous writer and she writes on current affair topics. Anushka Shankar is the daughter of famous sitar vadak Pandit Ravi Shankar. She is a social activist. She is an active nationalist and socialist as well. Arijit Sen is also a social activist and he basically studies and works for the welfare of rag-picking children in the metropolitan cities. Before we begin the chapter, we must understand the term rag picker. You must have often seen on railway stations, bus stops, in busy markets, children and even elders carrying a big sack, picking waste cloth, waste bottles, tins, and even paper, cartons, etc. from the roadside and storing in their sack. These people are rag pickers. This word is made of two words, rag and picker. Rag means old piece of cloth and picker is one who picks up something. Now, a rag picker is a person who collects and sells rags or waste material which could be recycled. When we talk about rag pickers, they have a different world. They have to live in utter poverty. They sometimes have to eat from the waste bins. The rag picker children are not fortunate to have schooling or live a normal life as your children live. When your children are busy going to school or in present scenario I may say, sitting at home in front of your laptop or tab or mobiles, getting education online, or when you're busy watching TV or playing video games, these rag picker children are on street working hard to earn their living. This chapter is in the form of a story. It's a dialogue basically, means some conversation held between two people. And on the other hand, monologue means one person is narrating a story. Hence we can say this story is basically a dialogue between two children. The characters here are Velu. He is an 11-year-old boy from Kannur who runs away from home. Kannur is a coastal city in the South Indian state of Kerala. Jaya, a girl of his age, and she is a rag picker. Before I begin the chapter, let me tell you, we see beggars, rag pickers, children working in hotels, etc. are those children who at some point decided to run away from their unhappy homes and they put themselves in trouble and they have to pick up some work to survive, to make money. Now let's begin with the chapter. I have highlighted some difficult words here and I will be giving you the meaning also. So be attentive and everybody open your books and with me try to read the chapter. When the Kanyakumari Express pulled in at Chennai Central, it took Velu some time to get off. When he finally stood on the platform, his legs felt wobbly as if he was still on a moving train. Now the meaning of word pulled in means arrive. Arrived at Chennai Central Station. Wobbly means trembling. Move unsteadily from side to side. Oi! Out of the way. A porter went by with a loaded trolley. Velu jumped aside. Now the term porter. Porter means a person employed to carry luggage, especially in railway stations. He sat on a bench on the platform, putting his small bundle down. In all his 11 years, he had never seen so many people except once a year at the fair in his village. People walked by, bumping into him with their suitcases. A voice announced something on the loudspeaker. Bumping means knock or run into something or someone. Near him, a group of people sat on their luggage, looking at a TV hanging from the roof. The noise was terrible. So this is the basic scene if you go to a railway station. People just moving around here and there with their luggages, suitcases, running to catch their trains, not bothered about who's standing near them, on whom they are bumping. That's not a matter because they are in a hurry to catch their train or move to the next platform. You will see even porters. All people would be talking, shouting. There would be announcement from the loudspeaker regarding the arrival or departure of the trains from particular platform. And those people who are waiting at the railway station, they would be sitting on their luggages or on the floor looking at the TV hanging from the roof. So always in the railway stations, the noise is always terrible. Velu put his head down on his knees, feeling miserable and exhausted. Miserable means very unhappy or uncomfortable. Exhausted means very tired. He had run away from his village 2 days ago. For 2 days he had eaten nothing but some peanuts and a piece of jaggery. In his bundle, he carried a shirt, a towel, and a comb. So since 2 days, he did not eat anything. He is hungry. He is starving. He had walked for most of the first day to Kannur and then got on to the train to Chennai. For 1 day almost, he walked without food. Just with few peanuts and a small piece of jaggery, he survived 2 days. He had no money to buy anything, to eat even. And he got into this train and then he got into the train and got down at this railway station. Velu had no money for a ticket, but luckily the ticket collector didn't come to the unreserved compartment. He had tried to sleep on the floor near the door. A group of men next to him had played cards and shouted all the night. He wanted to sleep, but the people sitting next to him were shouting as they were playing cards the whole night. A sound came. Hey! What? New to town, huh? Called out a rough voice. Velu opened his eyes. There were a lot of people standing around, but nobody was looking at him. So he thought who it would be. Again the sound came. Here, hey! He turned around. Behind him was a girl, around his own age, wearing a long banyan that came down to her knees. Her hair was stiff and it was brownish in color, and she had a huge sack on one shoulder. She was picking up dirty plastic cups from the floor and stuffing them into her sack. Velu thought, why is this girl calling me? And why is the girl wearing a banyan? The girl said, no need to stare stupidly. She said, "Don't look at me like this. What is your name?" He said, "Velu." He looked away. "So, Mr. Velu," said the girl, looking at his bundle, "ran away from home." Velu was not interested to give answer. He did not want to tell some strange girl what he had done. He had run away because he could not stand his father beating him for one more day. His father would snatch away all the money Velu and his sisters earned and spend it on drink. So from this we get the idea why Velu left the home, because his family was disturbed. He had a father who would not go to work. Whole day he would drink. These children would go and work in the field and earn money, and that money the father would snatch, and he would even beat the children. So Velu was tired of the beating from his father. He did not want to get any more beating, so he just thought he will run away from the home. "Don't think I don't know," the girl said. She's a quite smart girl, looks like. "This place is full of children like you. So what are you going to do here? Become rich?" This is what she asked. And then she sat down next to him. Velu shifted away slightly. Velu felt hunger pinching him and pressed his stomach with a grimace. Grimace means an ugly expression on the face due to pain, due to hunger. The girl asked, "Hungry?" "You won't get food by sitting here glumly, making faces. I can find some if you want." The girl offered him some food. She picked up her sack and started to walk away. Velu stayed on the bench. Now he was in utter confusion. He was thinking, what should he do? Should he follow that girl? And where she was going to take me? She was disappearing in the crowd. So Velu had to make up his mind quickly. He had to take a decision whether to follow that girl or not. He thought, all right, anyway, I have no idea where to go. Because he was new to this town, he had no relatives or friends here, so he was totally blank what to do and where to go. He jumped up and ran after the girl. She wasn't even looking to see where he was going. So, we will continue this chapter in the next video.